Alright, what is up, my friends? Welcome back to the Critical Impact's Broken Earth campaign, part of the Impact gaming community. We are joined here by our regular players, and let's go ahead and get started right away with a recap. So everyone roll a d20, except for Rainbow, who gave us our recap last time.
Well then.
Well.
Y'all gotta fight to the death now.
Still need one from Silver.
Still missing.
Because 8 would be 2 months worth.
I'm here.
Roll a d20.
Good.
Oh,
Alright, looks like it's a roll-off between Oriel and Jericho. So each of you roll a d20.
Haha!
Looks like it is Jericho's turn.
alrighty.
Alright, let me grab the right one. Are you ready, Jericho?
I can do my best.
That's all I ask. 3, 2, 1, go!
Okay, last time on Broken Earth, we decided to do our best to track down the cause of the Dwarven aggression. Our plan being kind of to pose as merchants in that, I think it was Juris Ore, trying to see if we could find a smith to work on it, while actually trying to figure out why the dwarves are arming themselves for war. We had gotten in, started talking to some merchants. Sivart passed himself off as a very well-off merchant. Then we found his dad as part of the chain gang going to the mines.
Excellent. We rejoin our heroes as they are making their way out of the mines. And we're just going to put you in the Dwarven Smithy for now. Give you a little ambiance here. Let's see. Where is it? There we go. This one will work. And the background music. There we go. As you turn to make your way back up towards the blacksmith shop, Sivart pauses for just a moment as he watches the door close behind the line of slaves. He does not appear to be moving.
Jericho! Yeah, a slave!
Yes, master.
Come closer.
I am as close as you want me to be, master.
Closer!
Alright, what? Yeah, and he'll come privately towards him.
Jericho, I think I just saw my father.
Do you really think your father would be in Dwarven lands?
I'm certain of it.
Why do you think he'd be here, Sivart?
I don't know. We need someplace to talk.
Well, in case you haven't noticed, we're not really able to talk very clearly right now.
Guy, yes. When are we going to make it to lodging?
Well, I'd imagine, sir, that we'd have to conclude the business conversations we've already begun with. What was his name? Honest Anvil? True Anvil?
Let's see. Rusty Anvil, Trusty Anvil, Steady Anvil, Dusty Anvil. That's all the
I think
joke.
it was Trusty Anvil.
That's the name of his shop.
Yeah, and I thought the joke was that was also his name.
Well, you know, I don't remember his name. I don't even think I gave him one. So he will be Trusty Anvil. He will embrace the capitalism.
Capitalism embraces you.
Oh, here, this is his name. There. Trusty Anvil.
Trusty Anvil. Fine, conclude what needs to be done.
I am sure that after we engage him in business, we'll be more than able to find private lodging.
Did Drusty ever come out of the mines?
Yeah, he came out of the mines, walked past you guys, and basically said, "Follow me back to the shop."
Okay, then let's follow him.
All right, you make your way back to the blacksmith shop, and he opens up the door wide and he says, "Oi, boy! Looks like we got some guests." He says, "Oh, them, sir. Yeah, they came by earlier looking for you. Oh, you sit on my way. That good on you, boy." Just to kind of paint a picture for those who are new, or perhaps just joining us on this episode, Drusty is this very large, kind of stout dwarf that is balding, very near bald at the top, but he's got very long wisps of white hair that are for a beard, I should say, not just hair. His beard is very long and lustrous and braided, and at the bottom of it, it is kind of embedded in like a gold ring with the symbol of a blacksmith on it. So this is what Drusty looks like. The apprentice is your typical dwarf. He's got a furrowed kind of blackish beard that's not too long, and he's got these goggles on. His face is just full of soot and sweat, and he's been working the forge all day. And we are now here inside Drusty's blacksmith shop, the Trusty Anvil.
Servant,
Yes, Lord.
I wish to know about my commission.
Indeed. Master Drusty, or would you prefer Anvil?
Just call me master. I'm the master of me forge, I'm the master of me craft.
Right, Master. My lord wishes to speak with you about commissioning. Unfortunately, he is not fluent in your tongue, hence why he hired a lowly creature like me as translator.
Oh, I see. Well, I suppose we should switch to common then. Don't want to have to go through a demi, do business negotiations. And he kind of nudges Sivir. Can't trust them tieflings, you know? He says in common.
I will back up away from them. No touching, but yes.
He doesn't seem offended at all by you backing away. He just starts putting down his tools and this bag he's been carrying onto the countertop there. It's like, "So, you said you wanted a shield, did ya? Kind of a hard thing to ask using Jurisor, but you didn't come for the greatest crafter and greatest blacksmith and all in Grimbold just for nothing, did ya?"
That's right. How quickly can this commission be done?
Well, I'd need probably about 2 pieces of ore. It's about yay big, this high. Say if you were to find... I need Judas ore times 2. And,
Get that list together.
thinking too much of MMO. Oh. Okay. I need a good amount of Judas ore. And, he's looking at the piece you gave him. It's like, probably another one of these will do. And it should take me about 3, maybe 4 days. No, I think I can do it in 3. It's like, yeah, boss. The apprentice shows up. Yeah, boss. We got this commissions just about done. As long as nothing too big comes in, we've got plenty of time. It's like, yeah, I should be able to do it in 3 days.
Perfect. Now I only pay 50% up front and 50% on completion.
Oh, you humans, you're a crafty one. He kind of puts his finger to his temple. It's like, oh, they always paid half now, half later when the job's done. All right, well, let me get out my tabulator. He pulls out just a sheet of paper. He says, okay, let's see. The cost, parts and labor. It's going to be about 3 days. So let's see. Estimate about starts like jotting down a bunch of notes, like everything in Dwarven, just very quickly writing some figures out. It's like estimated to be about 500 gold pieces.
Yes. Slave, bring what the dwarf wants.
Yes, sir. So just to be clear, that's 500 total or 500 up front?
500
That's
total
50.
for the whole job.
Yeah.
That's his estimate.
Okay, so I can.
Slave Art will pay it, but he's nudging about the ore.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll be able to pull out. He said he only needed 2 of the ingots.
Yeah.
Alright, so I will give him 2 ingots and 250 gold.
All right. As you bring it to him, he's like, "Oh, this is some high quality stuff. Where did you find this?"
Oh, is he talking to me?
Yes, he's talking in common.
We've been having it shipped. We originally thought it to be worthless. But now that we've collected enough of it and seen what it can do, I decided to put it to the test.
I haven't. There's not a dwarf alive that can't forge anything out of something. Or something out of nothing. If you catch my drift.
Sivar looks awkward and backs up a little bit more.
Says, right. He's kind of like inspecting it, looking over it. He grabs like a jeweler's glass. He kind of looks through it. It's like, yes, this'll do nicely. Did you just want the one shield, or perhaps you wanted some more? I can do swords. I'm really good at axes. These things make good hammers, by the way. Those are easy to make. Don't
This
forget
would be
about
a-
the scythes. Oh, right. The scythes. Those are really nice.
This is a test commission. After we see your quality of work and what you can do, we'll order more in bulk.
Order more in bulk, you say? Well, how much you got?
Jericho will upend his pouch and drop 10 more pieces of ore into his hand.
Again, we have boatloads.
He picks up another one and kind of eyes it through the jeweler's glass again and says, "All right, now we're talking business." And he like slams his hand down. It's like, "All right, I think we got ourselves a deal." And he reaches out to like shake your hand and says, "Oh wait," spits on it. He's like, "Do you have a deal then?"
Sivar's like looking at his illusionary hand. Yeah, a servant.
He's got heavy gloves on, so it's most likely he won't be able to feel your claws.
All right. Sivar's gonna reach in and shake it.
And he shakes it vigorously, like, all right. Now, well, it's the end of the day. Can't start working on it right now, unfortunately. Oi, boy! You're done. Go home. Quit working. But I'm almost done with it. I said quit working. The day's over. You work yourself to death or you stay in the forge all day long. And they just start yelling at each other and dwarven a bit. He says, right, shall we go to the tavern for some drinks?
After our receipt.
Receipt? Oh, hold on. Let me find it. Hold on. He starts like fumbling around looking for a big enough sheet of parchment. It's like, most dwarves don't want receipts. So you'll have to apologize if my handwriting's all a little wrong. He says, alright, where did I put that? There it is. Gets his inkwell out. Starts writing in dwarf. He's like, oh, no, wait. He crumples it up. Throws it into like the forge. Or just quickly, catches fire. Just bursts to flame. Says, sorry, force of habit. He starts like writing very slowly in common. Says, I Drasti Anvil. I think that's how you spell it in common. Purchase of 1 shield made of Uris ore, estimated at 500 gold pieces, with payment of 250 up front to the name of, what was your name again, sir? I seem to have forgotten.
It was Lord I Pennywise, Master.
Let's see, Lord I Penny. What? Now, is that with two
You got
N's
there
or
for a
two
second.
Y's?
Neither.
Neither. Oh, okay. Let's see. Pennywise, spelled Pennwyse, whatever. I'm not good at spelling.
No wise.
Correct.
No what? Oh, okay. He scratches it out. Pennywise. There. Alright. Pennywise. Alright. And he just like makes two lines, signs one of them, hands it over to you. Just sign right there. That's your copy.
Savar will take it, and he will copy his name onto it. He's gonna struggle with Pennywise. He's like, did he have two Y's? Like, oh, he wasn't listening.
Well, if you write it flowery enough, I'm sure he won't be able to read it.
Oh, you're right. Just make it extravagant.
It's like very kind of just scrawled writing in common. And I forgot to open the Twitch app so I could watch for chat. Now I'm gonna get to hear myself twice here in a second. Yep.
Oh, yes.
Turn that down. Watch the ad.
We still have the
thing.
guide with us, right?
No, the guide left as soon as you found the blacksmith shop. He basically saw that you were doing alright and basically left.
Alright, then I guess we'll look for some kind of lodging down here under the map.
From Tudak Reborough.
Sorry, I have to open up Twitch real quick on my PC. He basically said, let's go to the tavern and have a drink.
Oh, he wants to have a drink with us?
Yeah,
Or with me? Ugh.
as basically a successful business, transaction.
Right.
Do not worry, Master. Me and your other retinue can find lodgings for you while you sell.
Alright. I'll go off with the dwarf.
Perhaps you can take the stout one with you for protection, of course.
I will, of course, need one bodyguard. Hey, Commander!
Who's the stout one? I thought it was you, Oriel.
Said, oh, your entire crew's invited. I'm not buying drinks, but it's just a tavern. Come on, let's go have a drink.
Unlike the rest of them.
The only thing better than dwarven steel is dwarven ale.
Agreed. But some of them still have work.
But the workday's done.
Not for an entrepreneur like myself.
You humans are weird. Right, come on, boy. We're going to the tavern.
Is it
Okay,
happening
boss.
for Oriel?
All right, so who wants to go with Rusty to the tavern, and who wants to do whatever they want?
I'll go to the tavern.
I'll make sure nobody beats up our demi friends.
Me too.
Wait, one
What?
of you has to guard me.
Oh, fine.
Oh, fine, I'll guard you. Come on, just... We're not in boot camp anymore.
So Aggie's going with Savart, and Oriel's going to take the Demis for protection, and we're going to go find the lodge.
That's what it sounded like.
All right. The one thing I forgot to do today. Let's see. Fantasy name generator. Someone roll me a D10. Did we already come up with a tavern name? Or was that somewhere else? 2. The Copper Wand. Alright. So you make your way down through, or rather up, through the dwarven streets. You can see various dwarves kind of finishing up their work, starting to kind of plod their way towards the tavern. They're just kind of like closing down their shops, because apparently it's time to close up shop. It's drinking time! Eventually you make your way up past these gates that kind of demarcate the Forge district, as it were, and you can see various taverns. They're very obvious to you now that they are taverns, because there's a lot of raucous laughter and arguing, and perhaps maybe a couple dwarves getting thrown out of some here and there. Strategically placed right near the Forge district. You pass by a few, then the Drusty says, "Here, into the Copper Wand. It's better than all the others. Don't let anyone tell you any different."
Fun.
And then we shift into
that's
the...
cute.
I guess I don't have a tavern. Let's try this one. Ambience. Oh well. Where is... Here we go. You make your way inside. The tavern is pretty much full of dwarves. There's some drinking, some laughing, some telling stories. A barmaid is passing out drinks. There's maybe a couple dwarves in the corner that are fighting each other. And some drinks are flying. He's like, "Ah! Copper Wand! Good old Copper Wand. Feels like home." "What, barmaid? What do you want?" "Oh, it's you, Drusty. Usual. Oh, get me a table for me and the boys. We're celebrating. You got it, Drusty."
Agamemnon, help them find a table. I need to refresh myself. Where's the restroom?
Right. Hey, you! I need a table. Yes.
"Well, go and sit with Drusty." And you see Drusty's kind of over at another table. "You're in my seat!" He like picks up a dwarf and tosses him across the room. Oh! He like crashes into a bench. It's like, "I told you not to sit there." And Drusty's like, "Oh, here, mates." Kind of waves you down.
I'll head on over and sit.
Is there a restroom?
The restroom's like, "Oh, there's a... I don't know what they call them. Skippy?
This room? Box with a hole in it.
Is
Don't
the
have
room
that.
up?" Like the tavern guy's like, "Round back," and he's like, "Hey, you, stop fighting! You've been fighting too
Alright.
long."
So
Like,
our
just,
only-
like, just
in
kind of
the back.
motions to the back, to this door.
So I was gonna get inside.
And inside is just basically a bench with a hole in it. It smells kind of bad,
Brilliant.
but
So I was gonna cast smell again.
cast Disguise Self again?
Yeah, still gotta do it every hour.
Okay. You're fine.
Perfect. And with that, Silver will go back out and sit at the table.
Hold on, one of these is... There we go. This one's got music. Alright, you head back out, and a barmaid is setting down drinks. It's like, "Will you be having the usual today, Drusty?" It's like, "Oh, get me the Dwarven special for me and this fine gentleman." And, who... Jericho and Layla, where are you guys?
We were going with Oriel to try and find lodgings for the night.
Okay, I'll switch back to you. I'll switch back to you like right now. We'll switch back to Stivart and Agamemnon in a bit. So Oriel, Layla, and Jericho attempting to find lodgings.
And Ori, you're gonna have to do your best to make sure me and Layla don't get waylaid.
Oh, don't worry. I'll keep you. I'll keep you.
Basically, you
So
have
let's
to do
go
all the
find.
negotiations because they probably won't talk to the tiefling and the Triton.
Well, let's go find a place to stay.
Just has to fit, and he'll do air quotes, Master Pennywise's noble standard.
Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, let's go.
Alright, how do you want to find lodgings for the night?
Is there a higher end area to the town?
There doesn't appear to be much of a noble sort of higher end area, but there is kind of like a space where you can see the buildings are more finely ornamented or trimmed with gold or certain jewels.
Then we'll head that way.
Oh, excuse me. You head up further into the mountain itself. Eventually you make your way to you're higher up than when you started, when you entered the mountain itself. And at this point, some of the dwarves are kind of giving you weird looks because, you know, it's a human and a Triton and a tiefling, you know, hanging out in dwarf land. So it's not something they see every day. But eventually you make your way into sort of this fancier district, as it were.
You two, keep your eyes peeled for something that looks like an inn.
I will do my best.
Jericho, roll perception. Alright, as you are walking along, Jericho, you can read and write Dwarven, so you can see these placards on some of these kind of big houses. And a lot of them seem to be family names. There doesn't seem to be anything that says, like, the Drunken Boar, or like, the Harper and Flask, or the Scarlet Tankard, or any kind of inn tavern names like that.
Okay, unfortunately, my lady, this appears to be more residential. We could, I could try and ask one of the nearby people and see where well-to-do folks go to.
That might be a good idea, but remember to keep in mind, you're a servant.
Indeed, it might be best that you keep your sword point not too far from my throat while I ask.
Very true.
So, keeping up the appearances as ever, I'd like to try and approach some of the pedestrians.
There aren't too many pedestrians out and about at about this hour, but you do manage to find kind of a couple walking down the street.
And I will hail them in Dwarvish.
They will take one look at you and immediately turn around and walk the other way in a sort of busy, hurried walk.
About as to be expected. Well, I guess we will just have to look around. Probably have to go back down to the more normal districts, and we'll just try and look around to find someone who I can talk to that won't ignore.
Yeah, we should probably go back to maybe closer to the taverns.
Alright, as you make your way back towards the sort of common district, you can see a bit more foot traffic, but there are, a lot of, again, the same thing, dwarves kind of being thrown out of taverns, raucous laughter, cheering.
Question, are there guards around?
There are some guards, you can see. They kind of hanging out in walls. Some of them are just like posted at tavern entrances, almost like they got a little extra to just kind of watch the tavern, maybe under the table, I should say. But there are several guards posted about.
Guards will probably be less likely to ignore me and more likely to throw me in jail, but at least I could get a word in edgewise.
What do you guys want to do?
Do you want to try the mimicking game again?
Ooh, I can... That's an idea. So, here's the plan. If you can approach them, I will cast Sending on Oriel, and I will put the exact words in Dwarvish for the phrase I want her to say in her mind.
Okay. Oriel, roll me a straight intelligence check to kind of nail the pronunciation, as it were. And then go ahead and roleplay that out, Jericho.
Alright, well, I'd assume if she would approach the guard, then I would just kind of be out of sight and try and point at her, mutter my words in Dwarvish, put it in her mind so she can speak the words for me.
Yeah, okay, what do you tell her to say?
We are looking for lodgings for our Lord Pennywise. Where would someone of stature go to stay the night?
Alright, so Oriel kind of tries to repeat that as best she can. She kind of fumbles around some words, so it sounds more like, Where can sleep we tonight, Lord Pennywise? Stature lodgings good, yes? And this dwarf guard she's talking to just kind of like gives her a look and like talks back to her in Dwarven.
And am I close enough to overhear this?
Roll perception.
No, not really.
No, you can't hear it. But Oriel, of course, has this confused look on her face because she doesn't understand Dwarven. And then eventually this dwarf says, it's like, You're not good at Dwarven, are you?
No.
You said you needed to stay the night?
Yes.
He just kind of like points at several of these taverns like, Ask around.
Thank you. And she'll give a thumbs up.
And he'll just like say something in Dwarvish very quickly. Almost, it's probably like you're welcome or get out of my face, whatever the Dwarven equivalent is.
Yeah, one or the other.
They probably sound about the same.
Well, that could have gone better.
So I guess we can ask around in the taverns.
We'll have to do, and we weren't able to really find anything much better. I suppose his lordship will have to make do.
Alright, do you want to try asking around taverns then?
Yes.
You want to look for anything particular, or just start heading into taverns?
Let's just choose a tavern and go.
Maybe we could filter them by how greasy their doors look.
There are no doors. They're dwarven taverns. Always open.
Alrighty.
See what I did there?
Yep.
I mean, your best bet would be able to filter them out by how many people there are in each tavern. The noise coming from each, I would say. It's probably your best bet.
Okie dokie.
So what are you looking for? Tavern with a ton of people? Tavern with a medium amount of people? Tavern with nobody inside?
Do we want to avoid suspicion or be public?
I'd say if there's too many people, we might not get any sleep. And if there's too few people, it might just be a terrible place.
So maybe somewhere in the middle then?
Yeah.
Somewhere that has running water for Layla.
Yeah, that might be nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure this subterranean climate's not doing wonders for your skin.
No, but we'll
I mean,
do
it's
what we
humid.
can.
You guys ever been caving?
No.
Yes.
It's pretty humid down there.
It's wet. Yeah, it's actually kind
But it's the wrong kind of wet. It's not seawater.
It's not the good kind of wet.
I literally just said that earlier today because it's raining.
Oh, but I love the rain.
It's better when it's not thunder and lightning outside.
No, it's totally better when it's thundering and lightning. It's not great when the wind's blowing, because that means there's probably a tornado. I live in Kansas. Right. So, Oriel, Layla, and Jericho roll a perception check to try and find a good enough tavern.
Well, at least I'm consistent.
It's 29. That's over 30. Okay. So you guys kind of look around, and eventually you decide on a tavern that looks, it's like there's not too many people there, but there's still a good crowd that you can kind of hide in between if you really needed to. Do you want to head on in to this newly chosen tavern?
Afraid
Yes.
we must.
Alright. You enter this tavern. You can see in one corner there is a bard, dwarven bard, kind of strumming a little tune. Over in the corner there's a couple of dwarves, kind of just looks like they're hungover, maybe got a couple bruises on their face. More of these other dwarves are arm wrestling and drinking and cheering. And over in the corner you find Drusty, Agamemnon, and Jericho. Or not Jericho, Sivart. Agamemnon is currently arm wrestling Drusty as Sivart is cheering them on. You have found your way into the Copper Wand.
Small city.
I'll wave them down.
Sivart
Don't
looks
try
up
to
for a
trick me
moment.
into losing.
Agamemnon, roll a strength check.
You know you can't beat a dwarf. I pat him on the back real hard.
I mean, he did wrestle a dwarf into submission.
He's straining his arm and he's pulling, and this dwarf's like got his pulsing muscles like, oh yeah, oh you like that, huh? And he's like getting closer and closer to pinning Agamemnon's arm, and then Agamemnon just like looks at him and like, you know that thing you do with with your fingers where you just lift one and like tap your fingers like this. Just like tap your fingers in rapid succession, one after the other. He's basically just lifts his fingers and taps his fingers against this guy's palm, and then immediately just slams him up against the table. He goes, "Oh, that's me fortune arm! Watch it, boy!" Agamemnon just laughs. Says, all right, you got me. And like, Drusty says, all right, one on me. Drusty like basically orders a beer for you.
Very nicely
winning.
done. Sivark's just sipping on something.
And Drusty's like, there aren't many dwarves that can cross me in arm wrestling, you know. Maybe the king himself. Did you know I wrestled him once when we were boys? We were good friends, him and I. He starts telling this tall tale that maybe there's a bit of truth in it, maybe there's not.
Hey, did he ever let you touch Storm Howl?
Storm Howl? What the beep is a Storm Howl? He's talking about King of the Dwarves, not King of Earthcut.
Oh.
Ah. Well, Agamemnon, continue with the festivities.
I guess so.
But he
I'll walk up
notices Oriel, Layla, and Jericho walk in, and like some people kind of give you a look, but then just go back to their drinks or their food. They don't care that there's these dirty Denny's coming into their establishment. They just want to drink their ale after a long hard day, eat their food, and they just don't care. Says, "Oh, managed to find what you were looking for."
Yes, were you able to find lodging?
Jericho will slide up next to Sivart and say, we were not able to find anything classier than this.
Good. Yes.
Will these accommodations be sufficient, Master?
I guess.
Drusty kind of like leans over, and is like, "Hey, there's no finer tavern than the Copper Wand. That's what this place is called. Yeah, Copper Wand. Than the Copper Wand. You'll be having a good night's sleep here. Trust me. I've fallen asleep here many times.
All right.
That wasn't even on the beds."
Servant,
Yeah, we got that.
please go require some rooms there.
Yes, Lord. And he will do so and do his best not to get thrown out of the bar because people hate you.
Alright, you head on up to the tavern owner, who's kind of like yelling at his barmaids and like yelling at the dwarves, like, "Hey, knock it off! Pay your meal!" And it's like, "Right, what can I do for you, Demi?"
My master, you may see him over there, Lord Pennywise, requires lodgings for him and his retinue for the evening.
"Oh yeah, I saw you coming. Hey, put that down! You're not supposed to touch that!" "Right, just a day?"
We should be in town for 3 days, I believe. Would there be a way to pay up front for all of that?
Says, 3 days lodging. He just like kind of calculates it in his head real quick. Let's see, for the regular beds, that's 5 silver. 3 days, 3 of the regulars. That's 15 times 3 is, that's 45 silver. For the demis, that's 2 of you, 3 silver, that's 6 silver. Total comes to 51 silver pieces. I will call it good at 5 gold.
Alright, and would there be any way to procure fresh water as well for the Lord?
I suppose that could be arranged if you pay me a gold for it.
So he will hand over 10 gold pieces.
And you're just kind of looking at it like, I said 6 gold.
Gold for the water once is what he said.
Yeah, he assumed you wanted just some fresh water. Like a barrel of fresh water.
Right. He will clarify then that this will be a nightly occurrence and consider the extra impetus to treat the Lord and his guests with as much hospitality as you can afford.
Oh, right. Sorry, I didn't understand you there. He just kind of like sweeps it up real quick and stuffs it in his pocket. Right, just come talk to me or you want your room keys. I'll get them ready for you. I'll tell your lord he's got the finest in dwarven establishment for lodgings. And he kind of like throws a rock at another dwarf and says, "Hey, I told you not to touch that!" Thank you for your patronage.
Jericho will take his leave and report this to Savard.
Perfect. Where are the keys?
They said they would be getting them ready for us when we finish with our revelry. They will be there for you to.
Perfect. Oh, please, Jericho, save me from this. I'm going to vomit.
Go ahead and roll a con save if you've been drinking. Alright, so you're able to kind of hold your own. It's still, you know, you're still a bit woozy. He says, right, so we got all that sorted out. Now that we're all here. This is a dwarf, Drusty speaking. He says, why don't we have a drink to celebrate this business venture, shall we?
Did we just have 3 drinks?
Yeah, but now we gotta do it together! Come on, it's the dwarven way.
Alright.
He just kind of slaps his table. That's what I like to hear! And he like flips a silver piece to the barmaid and says, "Oi! 6 dwarven specials!" And like the barmaid looks at him and is like, 6? He's like, yes, 6! Come on, woman! Get the drinks here! She's like, oh, she just like kind of looks at him like, oh, speaks in dwarven. There's like, okay, I guess. Then she lets like, oh man, you're gonna love the dwarven special brew here at the Copper Wand. You know,
It's not like
other...
dwarven soup, is it?
Oh no. This is a drink. It's basically the same thing though. Throw things, turn off the lights, throw things into a barrel, and let it ferment over a year, at least. Of course, every tavern's got their own kind of dwarven special, but the copper one, now that's the real dwarven special. And, you know, he's sitting there kind of talking to you about it, you know, kind of having fun, laughing. And eventually the barmaid brings over 6 drinks.
As the barmaid brings over 6 drinks, can I cast a spell?
Can you cast what?
A spell! Major image.
Major image. Okay, let's see here. Create the image of an object, creature, some other visible phenomenon.
All attacks!
What,
Jesus.
Hold on. Yeah, wall of text is right. Okay, major image. What do you want to do with your major image?
I want to copy one of the drinks and put it on her serving table as she's serving it, so that there's 7 drinks. And when she serves them, I want to grab that drink.
Alright, so first, roll stealth to cast it stealthily, unless you want to do it openly.
Nope.
Oh my god, how could you? You're killing the thief ability. Oh no. So we don't have a thief in the game.
Okay,
Can I portent this?
let's see, your last portents were 16 and 17.
I'll make it a 16.
Okay,
Or
so
roll
total
16.
18. Oh, roll 16. So total 17. Okay, and now do deception to kind of fool everyone.
Well,
Brilliant.
Okay. Excellent work.
thank you,
That's your
roll 20.
deception.
How to get my 1s in, my 20s out of the way.
She starts putting all the drinks down, and you know, Sivart, you kind of like very stealthily create a mug very similar, and you reach out and grab it.
I can make even the contents and it smell like it.
Yes, major image.
The only thing is, if you drink it, you won't get anything out of it.
Yeah. And as everyone's grabbing that, she's looking around, and everyone's got their drink. And
She's got an extra one.
she's got an extra one. Says, well, what do you want, a tip? And he looks up and he sees the extra drink. He's like, I said 6, a woman, not 7. Come on, what's with you? She's like, but I thought I brought 6. It's like, and he looks around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's counting in Dwarvish. 7. It looks like you brought 7 when I asked for 6. She says, oh, I'm sorry. You won't have to pay for it, of course. Alright, it's a honest mistake. And so then, like, he starts looking at everyone. It's like, alright. She walks away. To a great business venture, shall we? Cheers!
Cheers.
And everyone, like, he holds up his mug. Who wants to, he's, like, waiting for you to, like, you know, hit it. To, like,
Sivart's gonna hit it.
Cheers!
cheers!
Kanpai!
So, like, there's enough mugs hitting that he doesn't notice the major image. And then he starts chugging his drink.
I'll give a hearty swig, but not a chug.
Sivart's gonna chug it. Because it's an illusion.
Chug, 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 chug.
Agamemnon doesn't drink, so he'll only take a sip and set it down.
What about Layla and Jericho?
He'll just do his best to drink, but probably not with debauchery.
She'll try to have a couple sips, but it's gross.
So as you're drinking this down, you notice that this one has kind of like a fruity flavor, almost as if it was wine, and doesn't really sting too much. So it's very easy on the throat. And as he's chugging, he's like, "Oh, now that's a good dwarven special." He's looking at all of you, just like kind of sipping at it. He's like, "Oh, come on!" Just like slamming the table. Chug it like a real dwarf.
I don't drink, and he pushes the drink over to the dwarf.
7s. Be merry. Drink.
Oriel chugs it.
He's looking at Agamemnon. He's like, he looks kind of offended, but he kind of understands. He's like, ugh, you lightweight, can't handle your drinks. Another.
It happened when my wife started drinking me under the table. I didn't want to be emasculated anymore. I have taken control of my life now.
And he says, now that sounds like the kind of lass I'd like to marry.
You stay the hell away from my wife.
What?
Agamemnon.
You think
calm
me
down.
some kind of unhonorable elf? Dishonorable elf? I'd never touch another man's woman unless I had to beat the crap out of her for insulting me. But eventually your meals come, and it looks like it's very just plain cheese and bread. And the barmaid comes back with some just basic ale. At this time, Jericho, Layla, and Oriel make me a Constitution save, DC 20. Agamemnon, Constitution save, DC 10. Do they get that paladin thing?
Yeah, right.
Everyone gets
Oh, God.
my benefit for con saves
Which is...
on my list here.
Gives you a bonus to the saving throw. Go ahead and roll it up so everyone can see what it does. Also, that was a dex saving throw.
Oops.
So, everyone got +3. Oriel didn't need it. Agamemnon saves. Oriel saves.
But not the
Layla
Demis.
and Jericho immediately pass out.
Don't drink a lot of alcohol under the sea.
Layla just like, tasty. just like that scene from The Emperor's New Groove.
I mean, if that's not already accurate of me, I don't know what is.
Tasty.
She's just bubbling in her soup.
And Drusty's like, is she gonna be alright?
She'll be alright. She'll be alright. But the 7 won't.
Both of you guys pass out almost immediately from this dwarven surprise, as it were. Does anyone want to do anything before you guys get your keys and head up to go to bed, or...
Other than... No, I'm good.
I'm gonna just whisper to Sevart that maybe we should ask him about what's going on with the dwarves and elves.
Like, Sivart's like grinning and nodding heavily.
So it's like, yes, we should do that.
But first, let us pick up them.
I mean, they're not...
Agamemnon, let's take him to bed.
Right.
Well, I thank you for your dwarven hospitality and all of this alcohol, and our soon-to-be commission, but it is late, and we all need rest.
And he says, yeah, you know I do some of my best work when I'm drunk. It's true. I got this one helmet in my forge that proves it. He starts, like, launching into this tall tale, skipping back and forth between Dwarven and Common. You can tell he's definitely had a lot to drink. Says, I'm gonna forge the best shield, and it's gonna be the best because I'm the best. Because they don't
Justy,
call
you
me
seem to get this.
Bestie
You
Anvil.
Alright, I'll tap him on the shoulder.
It's
and
getting
just
late in the night.
Slide out and leave.
You head on over. You like kind of carrying Sivart and Jericho and Layla. You kind of head over to the tavern keep, and he's like, cleaning mugs. He's like, "Oh, it's you." And it's like, "Oh, I see they had a bit too much to drink."
One and done.
Right, let me see. What did I put up? Here we go. And he hands you, Sivart, he hands you a key that's kind of embroidered. It's got like a number on it. It's a dwarven symbol that you can't read.
Just one key?
Just he hands you one key and he says, "Right, your room's up on the left. It's third door. Demis are in the back." And he like hands 2 silver keys. It's like one for your bodyguards and one for the demis.
Aye, thank you.
Your bodyguards should be right across the hall from yours. The demis, it should be. And he looks at it. He's like, demis, they'll be at the back. This key will open the door.
Perfect. I'll go to the back with all the keys and lead everyone else. And is that like where do they put the demis?
So as you head into the back, before you turn into the bathroom, there's like a staircase. There's one that leads up, and right below the staircase is a door that's got a lock on it.
I'll use the key on it and open it up.
You open it up to see a small room, probably no bigger than 25 by 25 feet, with several bedrolls placed down. There are maybe some cockroaches on the ground, but other than that, it's fairly clean. There's a bucket in the corner.
I'll go back up and go see the other 2 rooms.
You go up to the stairs, and fourth door on the left is a fairly big door that you could probably fit in. You open it up, and inside is a nice dwarven bed made out of stone, probably about queen size. The room itself is probably about 40 by 40. Not huge, but not small.
This one's the main one or the bodyguard's one?
This is the one with the golden key that's kind of engraved.
Oh, nice.
And this one's got like a wash basin, and it's got like some tapestries hanging from the walls.
All right, I'll open the bodyguard's one and see what's in there.
Bodyguard's one, slightly smaller than yours. Just some simple stone beds on the ground, some simple sheets.
How many?
There's 2. This is a double. And there's like one tapestry and a wash basin. It's slightly smaller, but it's still fairly comfortable.
Alright. Agamemnon, Orion, you alright with this room?
Yes.
I could put Layla in the wash basin in the big bedroom, but I don't feel comfortable putting Jericho down in the...
Also, I forgot to mention that inside that big room, there was a giant barrel just kind of
oh yeah, the water
room.
After that, will you help me, Agamemnon, with the water in my room?
Fine.
Alright. I guess we're just going to try and put the water from the barrel. Is there water in the barrel?
Yes, it is a very heavy barrel.
Alright, I'll put that, fill the wash basin.
Let's see. Let's just weigh. Agamemnon, how much can you lift?
Well, per the rules, I can lift a number times my strength. And my strength is 20. I am very, very strong.
Lifting and carrying. Carrying, let's see. Weight and encumbrance. No, can't find it on 5e. Quick reference. Let's see, tiers of play, languages, multi-classing, equipment, experience points, proficiency. I need ability scores. Yes. It's not strength. Doesn't tell me. Okay, playing the game. Ability scores and modifiers. No. Dang it. You'd think I'd know this off the top of my head, but no. Well, strength 20. I'm just gonna say it's fairly easy enough to. You get underneath it, kind of hobble your way over to the wash basin, fill it up with some fresh water.
It's 30 times his strength score.
Oh, then you got plenty of strength.
Agamemnon, do you practice sleep with their clothes on?
They're going to now.
Yeah,
Alright.
what's up with that? What the hell?
Just toss Layla into the water basin.
I mean, not to be weird, but you guys have seen her get up in the morning, like, dripping water everywhere.
Yeah, but never watching it happen.
True, several times she's made a point of coming down to the tavern in the morning and, like, leaving a trail of water.
I'm just going to leave it there. Alright, I guess I'll put Jericho on the big bed.
Alright.
And with that, I can set up, I guess, a small candle area, lit area, on a table somewhere for Agamemnon and Oriel to sit down.
You're gonna all stay in one room?
Oh no, but we've got to talk.
Oh, okay. Alright, you managed to light one of the many wall braziers that has
Agamemnon,
coal.
Oriel.
Yes.
I saw my father in one of those slave lines.
Oh? I don't see my parents and many people. I don't remember them.
Last I knew, my father was safe in Leowick. I had paid for his release. But I'm wondering if I've been double-crossed on that effort.
Or
What? A
did he get
pirate
himself in
double-crossing
trouble?
you? That's ridiculous. That would never happen.
I'm going to sneak out and attempt to find my father.
If you want to do that.
I was going to ask if Layla would go. She does have the spells to be able to do it, but she's drunk now.
Oh, did you want me to take off my armor and go with you?
No, Agamemnon, that's quite alright. I was assuming that I'd leave looking as a dwarf.
I can be quite stealthy.
Clang, 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 clang.
I said take off my armor.
I know.
Oriel! How good are you at disguises and sneaking about?
Hmm. Sneaking, maybe. Disguises, not so much.
With the amount of time we've got only this evening and the next one, from what I can tell of that commission. But, again, I'd still rather not be here as long as possible. We need to find the information and leave. And I need to figure out what's going on with my father.
Where would he be this late in the evening?
I don't know. There must be some form of slave camp somewhere. I'm just assuming that in the evening it'd still be easier to sneak out and go find him. Even if it's to ask him a few questions. Figure out how he got here.
Sivart, if you recall, last session, your character would know this. Last session, he was seen heading into the mines. So
Yeah,
it's likely
I know.
that his shift has just started.
Ah.
He was like a third shift worker.
Yes.
You. Alright. So I'm going to try and sneak into the mines.
This sounds like a terrible plan.
I agree. I'd rather have help.
Well,
Honestly,
we
I think
can
this is a
help
great
you.
plan. You should go ahead with it.
or we could go inspect the mines as a reasonable investment for our Lord and Savior. I want to see PP.
This evening? Again, us wandering about as our merchant selves draws a lot of attention, and especially since we're trying to sneak into the mine.
Maybe our new blacksmith friend can give us a tour of the mines.
He's drunk as piss. I doubt he can move.
I mean, not tonight, but
I'm going to try tonight. If I slip in, ask a few questions, gather as much information as I can, and slip back out, I think it wouldn't be that bad.
Okay.
So, Oriel,
Don't-
do you think... Yes, Agamemnon?
Don't get caught.
Thank you, Agamemnon. Oriel, do you think if you could strip down to something a bit more stealthier, you'd be able to make it along? I can't say I'm that stealthy myself.
I'm not actually that stealthy.
You just said it earlier just to say it?
I'm more concerned at why Sivart wants all the female characters out of their clothes.
Whoa.
I think I was actually thinking of Nyx still being stealthy. Oriel is not stealthy.
Yeah, Sivart's not stealthy at all. It's definitely giving me all disguises. But he doesn't want to go alone. The best suited other person to do that was Layla, and she's passed out.
I could wake her up.
Oh, Agamemnon, that's right. Can't you cure poison? Or
Yes, I
remove?
can.
Paladins can essentially cure alcoholism.
Yes.
Did you want me to wake her up?
Please wake up Layla.
Agamemnon slaps Layla with lay on hands, 5 points.
To, one disease and neutralize one poison. So you neutralize the alcohol. You kind of slap Layla awake. She takes 1d8 bludgeon. No. She slaps her. The alcohol is removed from her system. She kind of wakes up. Layla, you are slapped awake by Agamemnon as you kind of snap to.
The grogginess instantaneously fades.
Your presence is needed, princess.
Okay then.
Question: where was Layla when you woke her up? Was she already in? She was already in the water. Okay. So Layla,
All I can
you've woken
imagine
up.
is Agamemnon reaches down, grabs her by the scruff of her clothes, lifts her up, and she wakes up. Your presence is
You are dripping
Yeah.
wet, Layla, standing in front of Agamemnon, who is holding you up. And he says, "Your presence is requested, princess." And then he gently sets you down on the ground. Because Agamemnon is like 7 foot, and Layla is like 5 foot.
Try again.
4 foot. I don't know
Yes?
how tall Layla is.
Wait, aren't you like 4.5 or something stupid like that?
Yeah, something stupid.
Let's
Very
see,
short.
Background. 4'8". Wow. Okay.
Don't say anything.
That's only a
It's
few inches shorter
fine.
than me in real life.
It's 5 with a little antenna. Does that count?
Yeah, there you go.
If you extend the forehead noodle.
Oh my god.
Okay. So you have been awakened, Rainbow.
Layla, over here.
Yeah?
Quick catch up. I spotted my father in the mines. I think he's a slave there. Can you help me find him and figure out why?
Sure.
Perfect. We'll need dwarven disguises, because I'm not good at sneaking around.
Well. Oh my god, Ryuk.
Alright, I'll cast Disguise Self, and I'll take... I will look like that apprentice.
the apprentice from Drusty's Anvil. The
Yeah.
Trusty Anvil. Got it.
And I have disguise self, so I will. I'll try and just look like someone who might have been in the mines. Like maybe not a slave, but dirty and not looking like a demi.
Like a dwarf?
Sure. Again, this is like the second time I've been a dwarf, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the noble dwarf. From
The
before.
race, the dwarf, not the height dwarf.
That you're always.
The capital D.
Alright, I'm
dwarf.
done for this session.
I'm feeling really attacked right now.
Layla, what spells would you might have? Because if we get caught, we can't exactly speak Dwarven.
I can't, speak Dwarven, but I can comprehend it at least. I do have comprehend languages. So we could
Perfect.
get in and listen a little bit, and then sneak on the way back out.
That might work.
Okay, as a note, comprehend languages makes it so you can understand the language.
But you can't speak.
Yes.
I know, that's what I just said.
Okay.
Alright, well, being able to understand them does help, but do you have any spells that might distract, just in case?
Distract how?
A giant explosion, I don't know, summon a dragon.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Because the first thing I'll be doing is like, look over behind you, and hopefully there's something behind him.
Look, it's a Goodyear blimp.
Alright. Any other spells, songs, anything you think that might help, Layla? If not, let's go try and find my father.
I mean, nothing off the top here stands out.
Alright. Agamemnon, Oriel, be careful. I'll give them their keys. And I'll give Agamemnon... Actually, I'm going to give Agamemnon the gold key, too.
Agamemnon has the gold key.
Keep it locked so Jericho is safe, and we'll come back and knock on the door 3 times. Your door, Agamemnon.
Just don't die, please.
Always. And I thank you. Alright, I guess Sivart and Layla will sneak out disguised as dwarves.
Alright, you both disguise yourselves as dwarves and make your way out of the tavern. You are now on the thoroughfare, the main thoroughfare of this dwarven city of Grimbold. Several taverns have started to quiet down a bit. There are some patrons passed out drunk on the street. Some of them are still inside drinking. You can maybe hear a tune or two, but generally everything has quieted down. You assume it is probably sometime around midnight, perhaps, to make your way down these streets.
I'll give myself a tad bit of guidance.
Alright, to give yourself a tad bit of guidance.
I'm gonna start sneaking over to the mines.
Alright, so you're gonna like duck between alleyways, or you're gonna just kinda...
Duck between alleyways. I'm trying not to be seen.
Okay, trying not to be seen. Okay, so both Layla and Sivart roll stealth. This will be a team effort.
Oh.
right. In your attempts to be stealthy, you exit an alleyway and stumble into a guard. He says something in Dwarven. Did you want to have comprehend languages up already?
Yeah, I'll go for that.
Take a look at how long that lasts. 1 hour. Okay, yeah. It's not even... You could even do it as a ritual before you leave.
Cool.
It's not even concentration, so that's nice.
So you didn't have to spend the spell slot for the first one.
Right, I just put it out that way.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
the
fix it.
ritual, because it's a ritual, you could have spent some time working on it, so you don't spend your resources.
Okay.
So he says, "Oh, watch where you're going!" I mean, he looks at you.
I'm going to look at Layla.
He looks at you and says, "Oi, what are you doing over here?"
What's the face on Layla look like?
Layla will will point at herself, like at her ears, and then start. It's more kind of Triton sign language, but she's gonna give it a shot anyway to try to say, "Oh, I can't understand you. I can't hear."
All right, try deception or performance. Your pick. I bet I know which one you're going to go with. He kind of looks at you, kind of making these hand gestures, and he looks at Sivar and says, "Were you a female dwarf or a male dwarf?"
Sivart or
Layla.
Layla?
Female.
Okay. He says something in Dwarvish. Sivart. Layla. He says.
Okay.
You know what they say, no plan survives contact with the enemy.
A demon bursts out of a wall and runs away screaming. Sivart's go-to distraction. No, I think it depends on what Layla signs at him.
She'll try to make him understand that she can hear him, but she can't talk.
Alright,
that's-
so he will
that's
roll
good.
insight. Go ahead and roll just a straight dexterity.
Who?
Who's rolling it?
Layla rolls straight dexterity. Dwarf will roll insight.
Where the fuck do I roll that? That's not a save.
Go to skills and down near the bottom.
Okay.
The unskilled one?
I'm playing like 3 different systems now. I can't remember any.
Yeah, I know the pain. You kind of fiddle with your hands a bit, just try and gesture. And then he says something else in Dwarvish.
Alright. I think I got it. And then Sivart's going to turn to him, force a burp, cast prestidigitation on the burp, and make it smell like the alcohol from the pub.
You're doing prestidigitation on what?
I'm going to force a burp.
Force a burp. Okay.
Force, as in,
Yeah.
Sivart's
Okay.
going to burp on the guard, and then I'm going to cast prestidigitation on the burp to make it smell like the thick alcohol from the pub.
All right. He will get a nice whiff of this with his perception. And he'll basically kick you. He'll kick you, Sivart. And he yells out something else in Dwarvish.
Layla will nod as if she agrees with the guard's assessment and try to help a drunken Savart back to his house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here.
Sivart will get up and start acting drunk.
Sivart, you will take 3 bludgeoning damage from the kick. As he just kind of kicks you back.
Jeez, you really hit me hard.
He is a dwarf.
Steel-toed boots.
That too.
Right to the ribs.
And he basically just turns and starts walking back down the street, the same way he was going when you bumped into him.
Ow. Layla, what did he say?
He, basically just called us drunks. Nothing major.
Perfect. Alright. Would you like to try that again? Alright, we're gonna try and sneak back over to the mine.
Alright, being a bit more careful this time. You manage to sneak your way
Maybe.
through. And eventually you make it back to the blacksmith district. And there, the blacksmith district is this kind of steel gate that's been surrounding it. And sort of like a steel fence that just surrounds the entire district. That just kind of is covered up by stone here and there. It's basically the gate is just there to plug the holes in the mountain as it was carved out. And you didn't notice it before, but there is now like a sliding gate that is closed. And at this gate, there are 2 guards posted. They currently they're not paying you any attention. Either you're hiding or you're out in the street. They're just kind of talking to each other.
Alright. I'll take Layla behind the corner of a building or an alley or something, and be like, Layla, any ideas? They probably have the key, or can open the gate.
I'm trying to look at my spells here. Okay, so make it foggy and sneak up on them, or I do have Unseen Servant if they're maybe able to go snag the keys from them.
There you go, that's actually not a bad idea. The fog will be confusing, especially under a mountain. That should throw them off quite a bit. And sending the Unseen Servant in to steal the keys, that should work. If anything goes wrong, I'll create a bigger distraction for them to follow.
Sounds good. Okay, I was just making sure they both were at concentration, so they're good to go. They don't conflict.
Alright, so what's the plan? In a nutshell, what's the plan?
Going to confuse them with the fog, since why would there be fog around here? And then I'm going to send my Unseen Servant in to pickpocket the keys from.
Alright, before you do that, roll a perception check for me to try and find the keys. Alright, Layla, as you're looking down to kind of look at these guys, try and find the keys, you can see very clearly that this gate itself has no lock. In fact, it's just got a huge sort of crossbar, as it were, that you just need to lift up to open the gate.
So there are no keys to speak of. The gate is not locked, per se.
Leela, you have a spell that could help us jump. Can we jump the gate, or is it all the way to the ceiling?
Most of the gate around the quarter is like to the ceiling, which the ceiling itself kind of comes pretty low down, probably to about 10 feet.
Yeah, if it's a
But
line, that makes sense.
About a 20-foot line where near this gate is, the ceiling goes up into the mountainside. So yes, you could hop the gate if you had a pole, or you could jump over it or fly over it. You've probably got about 10 feet of clearance, but these guards are still there looking in front of the gate.
Layla, could you put the guards to sleep?
I could give it a shot.
Alright, let me... No, I don't want that. I want this one. Alright, template. Soldier? No, non-combatant. No. Soldier. Apparently there's no guard. Okay. They have dwarves. They have mountain dwarves. We have that array. You guys are level 8?
Yarp.
Okay.
7 we should be.
No, you guys are level 7? That sounds right. I got 2 games going and I can't differentiate between the
7.
two. Okay, you guys are level 7. Are you sure you guys are level 7? No, that's right. That's
Yep,
right.
I'm
Okay,
level
sorry.
7. We're level
I'm just
7.
kind of... Okay, you guys are level 7. Oh, these have prints now.
Been
Okay,
level
cool.
7 quite a while.
Yeah, you're gonna be level 7 for a bit longer. Okay, I now have stats for these dwarven guards.
Okay, so you ready?
Yes, if you want to try to put them to sleep, you can.
I'm gonna cast this at a level 3.
Alright.
So I need to roll an additional 48.
Total of 47. Alright, as you cast this spell, let's see, does it take a somatic component, or verbal component? Let's find out. It does, so go ahead and roll a stealth check for me real quick. Alright, so you're able to keep yourself quiet enough as you're kind of waving your hands around and speaking these words. And you can hear these dwarves talking. And you know, you still got comprehend languages going. They're kind of talking to each other. It's like, they're thinking like, so you think the War of the Elves is going? Oh, who knows? I tried to sign up for the military myself, but I was too short. They just kind of laughed. Oh, that's a good one. They just start yawning. Oh, I tell you what, these long nights are really starting to wear on me. Clunk. As one of them falls over, he's like, "Hey, you can't sleep on the job. You gotta stay awake like me. Gotta stay." Clunk. As both of them just kind of fall over and start snoring.
Excellent
very
work,
loudly.
Layla. Help me with this. Silver's gonna run over and try and move the bar on the door.
The bar itself is not heavy, like too heavy.
Alright, then I'm gonna take it off and try and open the door.
You basically just slide it. It's like those door locks, deadbolts.
Ah,
You just kind of slide it. There's room for a lock, but they didn't put one on there because, I mean, I guess they don't really need it for this area, but you just kind of slide it off. It makes very loud clang. You look around, kind of like, oops, but it doesn't seem that anyone really saw it happen. And these 2 guards are still fast asleep, so.
All right, let's go. I guess we'll move into the mines itself.
Alright, you make your way further and further. Excuse me. Into the mines. Further through the blacksmith area, as it were. And, you're trying to find, your way down where you were. It takes you a little bit, but you eventually get there, because you just gotta head down into the mountain. And before you get any further, you can see that giant solid steel gate that blocks your way, that leads into the mines. And
is there anything outside of it?
Posted above the gate. Here, let me kind of draw it for you. Let's see. Put it on the map background. No, objects tokens. Draw shape. Give me a canvas. Freehand. We'll just use black for the mountain. Gray. Okay, so yeah, it's drawing. Okay. So there's the mountain. It's the mountain edges. You've got this path you're walking on. And at the end of the path, there's this giant... Basically this giant steel gate.
Bunny ears.
Those are supposed to be spikes, but I can't see what I'm drawing because it's kind of...
It's alright, you're good. Out. We've gotten the picture now.
You've got these giant steel gates at the end there. And
how do they open and close if you can't physically open them yourself?
Well, I'm about to tell you. Because at the edges here posted are 2 dwarven guards. Here we go. 2 dwarven guards. They've got their axes. They're perfect axes. And they're basically just watching the path.
This one's considerably harder than the last one. Layla, do you have any ideas?
I mean, even if we put them to sleep, how would we wouldn't be able to open the gate from our end, right?
Agreed.
Is there anything that we could do to spook them in our way so they open the gate from their end to leave?
Possibly.
Or would that just push them back further into the mine?
Getting them to open the gate is the problem. Getting them to investigate something, impossible. If I could create a big enough distraction to get them to come down, you could use your fog spell and we could try and sneak past them.
Yeah.
Just drawing bricks.
What should I distract them with? What do you think would cause a dwarf to come down and, open the gates?
A giant cask of ale? Or an
Just a
explosion.
giant cask of ale right in the middle of the road?
I mean, it'd get their interest at least.
You're right. Actually, Layla, that's brilliant. I'm going to go for it.
Alright, so how do you guys want to do this?
Give me a second, I'm looking at what spell I should use to do this. Can Silent Image make something big enough? I think I can. All right.
drawings are
Layla, do you have
best.
anything to distract them for a second? Make a
Gosh, I don't
noise,
know.
a spell from a distance, anything. Just to turn their heads for half a moment.
To get them to come over, or
No. To get them to look away from the road. I can create the image of it right in the middle of the road, but if they're staring at it when it happens, it won't do too much. We gotta get their attention slightly.
I'm looking.
What I need is those damn dancing lights.
We should have brought Jericho along with us.
Yeah, he's drunk.
Can I do a minor illusion past the gate, so like in front of them? Or is that further than 30 feet, do you think?
How far away are we from the gate?
You guys are probably about 30 feet. Create sound, volume, someone's voice, create image.
I was just gonna make a noise like someone threw a big rock or something in their dirt.
Yeah, you don't
Even
have to see
throwing a
beyond the
rock would
gate.
work.
You just have to be within range. There's probably about 20 feet of open street in front of this gate.
Layla, wait, I don't even need them to look behind them. Get them to look up. Just cast a spell above us, and I'll cast a spell below.
Okay. She will... That's a cantrip. Is that to make a noise as if something had been thrown upwards towards the ceiling? Like a rock or part of a brick or something.
Alright. Sound. Okay. So as you create this sound, as sort of a rock hitting the rock wall, these guards just kind of look up for a second.
I'll cast Silent Image, and right in the middle of the road, I want to put a big, pristine, dwarven ale cask.
Alright. As they look down, if you guys are 30 feet from this gate, where are you putting it?
I guess like 15 feet in front of the gate.
Alright. Alright. So 15 feet in front of the gate appears a very well-drawn dwarven cask.
Cylinder! Look at that dwarven cylinder.
Yeah, it's a perfect
it's amazing.
cylinder. It's amazing. That's right. They look up for a second. As they look down, they see this cylinder of this cask of dwarven ale. And immediately, they pull out their crossbows and aim at it. And they're yelling at each other in dwarven. And Layla's still got comprehend languages up, so this is what they're yelling at each other.
She'll, kind of whisper the translation to Savart that they said, they're acting a little suspicious about it. Like, when did it get here, and what did we do with it?
And, Layla, as you're translating this, you can hear that the dwarves go silent for a moment, and hear a very distinct twang, sunk, as a crossbow bolt is now sunk into the cobblestone. that is
Blast it.
kind of piercing.
I'll let the thing disappear when they hit it.
Alright, so the barrel disappears. The crossbow bolt is still there. Sticking out of the cobbles. And now they're yelling even more.
Let's get out of here.
Yes, I don't think there's too much we can do like this.
I mean, like, let's get out of here, like, right now.
Alright, let's leave.
So as you guys turn around to kind of head back through the blacksmith area, you can hear this very distinct clanging of this bell. Clang, 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 clang. It seems that the alarm has been raised.
Who'd have thought they would waste an entire thing of ale?
Yes, the ale that just mysteriously appeared in front of them. That is in no way suspicious whatsoever.
You never said how much intelligence they had.
They have an int of 10, which is basic human intelligence.
Alright, can we sneak our way back to the inn?
Both of you roll stealth to try and sneak your way past like all these blacksmith shops.
Gonna give me a
mountains.
food.
Alright,
21.
so you guys are very stealthy, very sneaky in making your way
A lot better than last time.
past all these blacksmith shops. You're like jumping over scattered swords and missing all these daggers lying around, and like anyone that's paying attention like doesn't even see you guys kind of making your way back very carefully, very quickly. As you make it to the gate that leads into the blacksmith area, you can see that it's wide open. You're clear because you guys didn't shut it.
Awesome. Let's just go back to the inn.
Alright, both of you roll dexterity saving throws for me. DC of... Well, you have disadvantage because you didn't see it coming. DC of 15.
Well, shit.
Nope.
Alright, so as you make your way past this gate, immediately a bunch of nets are thrown on top of you. What you forgot to realize is that the guards had since woken up and were no longer stationed at their posts. Immediately, several guards come out of the shadows as these nets have you entangled. They're all pointing pikes at you. Says, well, looks like we got ourselves some trespassers. So, what do you think you were trying to do inside of our shops in the middle of the night when no one was there?
Sivart's gonna remain quiet.
Oh, the silent treatment, huh? I see how it is. Well, it's sent to the mines for you criminals! And with that, we will be right back. As we will all take a break, go get some water, use the bathroom, do what you gotta do.
Yarr.
Try and be back at a quarter after as I clean up this drawing, this beautiful drawing that I have to now get rid of. Yeah. Alright, we will be right back, folks. All right, we will be right back, folks. who all is here?
I am.
Me.
Here.
Also here.
So, Silver. We got plenty of time. Alright, Silver is back. So let's get right back into it.
Yarr.
Alright, as we left off, Sivart and Layla, disguised as dwarves, have just been captured by the Dwarven Guard. And I need a drink of water.
Nice.
Okay. Okay. So, mind telling me what you were doing sneaking around in the blacksmith district late at night?
Sivar's gonna button up. Nothing from him.
Eventually some guards move in and they start to pin you and hold your hands behind your backs. One says, sir, something's not right with this one. The other one says, something feels off about this one too.
Wouldn't the nets give us our disguises away?
I mean, they're not really paying too much attention to that, but now that they're looking more carefully, they're like, now that you mention it, get the colors. And two of these guards come up from behind this guy that's obviously like the captain or the lieutenant, and they're holding out these black iron collars. They're just made of simple iron. They've got simple clasps. Let's see, what is... Hey, look at something. There we go. Okay. You guys were using Disguise Self. these black simple colors, and they bring them forward, and they kind of kneel down in front of you and start to kind of fiddle around, and they're trying to find your necks. And eventually they find them, and they kind of fit them on. Let's see. Both of you roll Constitution checks. DC. What is disguise self? First level. So DC 11. That's an ability check, Layla. You need to do a Constitution saving throw.
What about me?
Yes, you too. Both of you take 7 points. Oh, sorry, hold on. 5 points of poison damage as a bright green rune just kind of flashes on this collar. And immediately you are snapped back into your true forms as you take this damage. It says, "So, got a bit of spellcasters, do we? What the heck do you think you're doing in Grimbold?" Savart nods silently.
Are they speaking Common or Dwarven?
They're speaking Common. I should probably have said that. It makes sense that they would start speaking Common as soon as you got shifted back to your normal forms.
She'll kick Savart to get him to say something.
Sivart shaked his head at her.
Oh, the silent treatment, eh? Well, you'll fit well in the mines. We could always have a few open spots for some more demis. It just kind of spits at you both. Says, "Alright, get 'em up. Get 'em fitted. Take their things. I want them working by sunrise." And eventually they get these nets off of you, and they're just roughhousing you. And they're basically cutting off your clothes. They're giving Layla a bit more decency. I mean, they're not cutting away your underwear. They basically just throw this shirt on top of you. And if you were to struggle, they would hit you. I don't know if you are struggling. They basically just throw this sackcloth shirt on both of you. And they basically hand you these pants, and they're like, "Get in! Put them on!" And it's basically, they're giving you a very rough treatment. And then they put these shackles on your hands and your legs. Say, "Alright, get them into the mines. Put them to work till they can't work no more." Honestly. Then he kind of runs away. He walks away. And he says something in Dwarvish that you can't understand anymore. Because it's almost as if that comprehend languages spell also got nullified, as it were.
Okay.
And you two are led away by a small, what's it called? It's not a guard. Escort. A small escort of about 5 guards. You're led down into the blacksmith's quarters. You are brought to the gates. And those 2 guards are there. It's like, "Halt! Who goes there?" He's like, 2 demis! Ready for the mines! It's like, shift's already halfway through. Says, Captain said to put 'em to work. They're new here. Give 'em the good old newbie treatment. He's like, ha, I'll enjoy 'em in there. Alright, open the gates. These large iron gates open up very slowly. Eventually you are pushed inside, past these gates, and you see basically this huge mine shaft. Tons of torchlight, bunch of magma, a lot of people just working away, digging at several different veins of various types of metal. It's all it's just too huge to comprehend how big this mine is. As the door shuts behind you, you have, in part, accomplished your goal. You've made it to the mines.
Not in the fashion we wanted to get here.
We cut back to Agamemnon, Oriel, and Jericho passed out. It has been several hours since Sivart and Layla have left the tavern.
Well, they back yet?
I didn't hear anything. Oriel still has her eyes closed.
I guess we'll wait until the guards come. If they don't come by morning, I guess we'll go looking.
Sounds like a good plan. I'm sure they didn't get themselves into too much trouble.
Aye, that would be silly.
Alright, as you are... do you want to just sleep for the night?
Yeah,
or did you want to
that's fine.
stay up and... Okay. Alright, eating my graham crackers. Alright. I am going to borrow Agamemnon for a moment. Yoink. So I'm going to turn off the tense happenings music. Back to the city ambiance. There we go. Okay. Agamemnon. It is early in the morning. At least you think it's morning. But you can hear several activity downstairs, as people start to rouse and get breakfast. And Sivart and Layla have not yet returned, and it is early morning. What do you wish to do? Both Oriel and Jericho are still sleeping.
There's not much to do right now. Except wait until everyone's awake and then go to the mines. Unless I've forgotten something that I'm supposed to do again.
No, I was just eating my graham crackers.
I see.
That's why I was quiet. Alright, you're sitting there, kind of waiting for Oriel and Jericho to wake up. And they are really heavy sleepers. They are just not waking up. I mean, you polish your armor, you put all the things in your backpack in order. You spend probably like a good hour just, organizing your things. Of course, you prepare your spells for the day, as normal. But, they're just not waking up. You can see them, they're breathing, they're snoring. They're just not waking up.
Guess I should go wake him.
Alright, as you attempt to rouse both Oriel and Jericho. Wow. As you go to rouse both Oriel and Jericho, you just kind of tap him lightly on the face, then you kind of slap him, and then you start shaking him. They're kind of moaning and mumbling, but they're not waking up.
Well, that's not good. I think I'm in a horrible dream, and I try to wake myself up.
Alright, what do you do to wake yourself up?
I'll punch myself a few times.
You punch yourself once in the face, dealing 1 plus strength, so that's 6. You deal 6 bludgeoning damage to yourself. And you're kind of like, whoa! Oh, that's got a huge kick. I mean, you've had nightmares before. You've been a soldier on the front lines. And you know how to wake yourself up. And this always works. You're not waking up. Because you are, in fact, already awake.
I will do 5 points of laying on hands onto one of them, just in case they have any diseases or poison in them. I choose Oriel.
Okay. We'll switch back to the normal channel.
Alright.
Alright.
Welcome back.
Thuzzle, as you go to touch Oriel as she's sleeping, because you want to lay on hands.
Ooh.
Had to do it. You go to touch Oriel, you spend the 5 points of lay on hands, and you attempt to cure whatever it is that's affecting her. And you can feel it have an effect, but she's still like kind of very groggy. It's almost as if you still got to wake her up, you know. As you're doing this, you hear a very loud knock on the door.
Yes, can I help you?
Dwarven guard, open up!
Aye, 1 second, and I'll walk over and open it up.
As you open it up, it basically just flies open, and these dwarven guards are just kind of running inside with pikes and halberds. And like this other guy steps in, he's like, this is the place. You there? What's your name?
Me?
Yes, you? Was I talking to the bedstand?
Perhaps. My name is Agamemnon. I am a bodyguard for Sir Pennywise.
Thought so. Cuff 'em, boys! Immediately these
So be
guards
it.
turn to you and like pull their pikes out, because you are a huge man. He says, now don't be getting any ideas of resisting. We've got your friends in custody, if you know what I mean.
You'd like it too much.
Well, it would be a terrible thing if something were to happen to them. Get the other two! Oriel, you are very groggy and starting to wake up as these dwarves are starting to manhandle you. And they're trying to put you in cuffs.
Hey, what are you doing? Get off! What are you... I'm up! What do you want?
You're under arrest!
For what? I was sleeping!
I don't care! Get the other one too! Make sure he's out cold! And gag him! I don't want anything coming out of his dirty demi mouth! Jericho is completely passed out, by the way.
Yep. Yes,
Do
I
you
don't
wanna
think I'd
make-
ever been woken up.
Go ahead, Thuzzle.
Nothing.
Okay. Oriel is resisting arrest and trying to shove these dwarves aside. He says, "Oi, you there, woman! I would stop resisting if I were you. Lest something happen to your friend here. And one of the guards lowers his pike to Jericho's throat.
All right. Be civil.
That's what
Am
I
I-
thought. And
Am I handcuffed yet?
you are handcuffed. One of the dwarves kind of puts Oriel's hands behind her back, handcuffs her, and it doesn't necessarily need to shove her to the ground, but he does anyways.
I'd like to cast Thunderous Smite and headbutt the guy who pushed her to the ground.
Nice call.
All right, make an attack roll, unarmed.
Do I have unarmed? I do.
Yeah, everyone's proficient in unarmed. Alright, so you basically headbutt this guy that pushed her to the ground as he's walking past you. And, you know, he's got, like, metal on, so it kind of hurts, but you hear this very loud BOOM! As he just kind of gets thrown back to the other side of the room. 2d6 thunder damage, okay. So, 6 plus 7. He's still conscious, but he is on the other side of the room. He's, like, upside down, kind of collided with a table. You know, he's got, like, the swirls in his eyes.
Be nice to my friends. I'm complying.
Sure you are. Looks like this one's got a bit of spirit in him. Get the collars. Eventually, some of these dwarves pull out these very simple metal black collars that have a simple latch on them. And, one pulls out a collar, and he looks at you, Agamemnon, and says, boss, I don't think. Right, go get another one. We'll double them up. Should still work. Agamemnon's meaty, thick neck is just too big for one of these collars.
Does one leave the room?
One of them leaves the room to go get another collar.
I will try to hop my chains and grapple the leader.
Alright, roll a grapple check with disadvantage. Because you are essentially restrained. As I roll... He will also roll athletics. You have grappled him. 7 of the guards point their pikes at you.
Now I want to go to the jail. I just want to be nice about it. That's all. Can we handle that?
Where do you think we were taking you, you stupid dummy? Let go of me!
Do I look like a dummy to you?
You're not a dwarf, so you might as well be!
Well, no more pushing us around. We're going. And I'll release him. I'm sure I'm gonna get a beating real quick, but...
All 7 of them start beating on you with the butt ends of their pikes. Let's see. Quarterstaff. It's 1d6. Okay. As they beat you, you take a total of 17 bludgeoning damage.
What did I say about being nice?
Against creature, you use generally reap those who use violence immediately after an attacker against a creature other than you. So you can't do that.
Damn it. I wasn't considering myself.
He's having an out-of-body experience.
Something like that. Agamemnon, it's not the worst you've had. I mean, you've fought the battlegrounds and got some scars. But truly, this is injustice being done. I mean, they didn't even tell you what... They didn't even have a warrant. They just barged right in and took you all captive. Eventually, the dwarf comes back with another collar, and they double it up and fit it around your neck. And Oriel, they fit one around yours as well, and they put one around Jericho, who is still out cold. And they basically just carry Jericho out. Says, "Right, get marching, or we'll march for ya." As they chain you all up together.
I'll march.
Oriel complies.
Maliciously. You're all being walked down the stairs. Jericho's being carried by a couple dwarves. And they walk down the stairs. And at the bottom of the stairs you see Drusty is there. And he starts conversing with the lieutenant in Dwarven. Does anyone speak Dwarven? Or is it just Jericho?
I think it's the only one that's asleep.
Alright,
I
well,
do not speak Dwarven at all.
Yeah, you don't. I know you don't, because your wife makes fun of you in Dwarven. Some words are exchanged between the two, and then you can see this lieutenant guy kind of hand over a small sack, and Drusty shakes his hand and smiles, and then he just winks at you, Agamemnon. Says, "Nothing personal, lad, just business." And then you're all carted away. You too are also led to the Dark Gate. There are 2 guards standing there. Says, "Oh, who goes there?" Says, "More workers for the mines. The other 3 we were promised." Says, "Oh, good. Let them in. They can finish up this shift and just see how bleak and desperate their lives are going to be." So these white
Agamemnon
gates...
just laughs, chuckling to himself, as he's escorted down into the mines.
The gates open wide. Agamemnon lets out a very bellowing laugh. Perhaps some of the dwarves are unsettled by it. Jericho is being carried down. As they pass the gates, you can see them slip something into Jericho's mouth and make him swallow it. Jericho, it is very bitter, and you immediately start coughing. And you come to in chains. This is not the tavern. This is not the Copper Wand. And as you're kneeling there sputtering on the ground, one of the dwarf kind of gives you a kick. It's like, get up, you stupid demi! It's in Dwarven, but you can understand it, so.
He'll stand kind of spluttering and he'll look around at his companions. It's just the 2 beefies with?
Yes.
Did I do something wrong when I was asleep?
It wasn't you.
Okay,
it wasn't
good.
them either. Not our friends. We've been set up.
See, I was afraid it was me. Wouldn't be the first time.
Do you sleep cast?
He'll look at Aggie and say, "She wasn't here the first time I had a nervous breakdown, right?"
No, she wasn't. Thank our stars for that.
Okay, so... And he'll kind of address the dwarves around them in Dwarvish. What's the plan, gentlemen? What's it?
You're talking to the dwarves?
Yeah.
They say,
He doesn't know what the fuck is going on.
you get to work, or you die. Take your pick.
To to make an informed decision, could you at least tell me what it is we've apparently done?
He says, I don't understand the question.
Last I remember, before imbibing too much, I guess, of your fine ale, we were welcome guests in your city. What changed while I was asleep?
Welcome guests, he says. You hear that? He thought he was a welcome guest. Oh, you stupid Demi. Grimbold is for the dwarves. Everybody else gets put to work in the mines. He just walked right in. He just walked right in. You hear that? No, he couldn't have. Yeah, they just walked right in like they were owning the place. Like came here for some business transaction or something. Oh, don't tell me. They drank the dwarven surprise. It's like, oh, I think he tried that, but they were too smart. About half of them didn't want it. Oh, they fell for the dwarven surprise. That's the oldest trick in the book. Well, I heard 2 of them got caught trying to sneak around, looking about. It's like, come on, man. What a goof. They're just laughing at you.
How many are in this room?
Yes.
Yes, a lot.
You are past the iron
I'll
gates.
just
The
get to
gates are
work.
closed. There's probably about 6 guards within 20 feet, as well as 2 guards up near the wall itself. And you're basically
Yeah,
just
I
being
think-
led down into the mines.
Agamemnon's gonna bide his time, for sure, and just get to work as best he can until he finds an opening, like every Star Trek episode.
Yes. As you were led down into the mines, you were eventually brought towards a bunch of crates. And you are unchained from each other. It says, right, strip their belongings. And they start, everything they did confiscate, basically your clothes, they start taking them away. And they give you these very ragged, kind of, torn, very shoddy, very, very basic clothing. Tunics, pants, shoes.
Oh, thank you. That armor was chafing me. These clothes are so light and airy.
Stow it!
You've given me a real boost in self-confidence seeing myself like this. Oh, I didn't know my muscles were this strong.
The dwarven guy utters a single word as he's looking at you in Dwarvish. He basically just kind of shouts it, says, Dory! And, Jericho... And Agamemnon, roll a Constitution saving throw, DC 11. You take 6 points of fire damage as this red rune just burns brightly on your collar. Kind of sears into the neck a little bit. But it disappears
I am a
after
little
only a
bit
few
tanned.
seconds. Says, you'll learn not to talk back to your taskmasters. Better learn it quicker than later. He's just like starts handing you some pickaxes. Says, right, head that way, get to work, start mining. If you don't have nothing to show for it at the end of the day, you're dead. Don't slack, we'll find you, and you'll be dead.
I will see you later.
Ha, doubtful. And Layla and Sivart, of course,
basically got the same treatment. Sivar has maybe been trying to look around. Trying to look around to, try and spot his father. But, Sivar, you learned very quickly that if you kept looking around and didn't get back to work, you'd, get the butt or the haft of a pike.
What does this collar do?
It is a black metal collar that honestly is so last season.
I'm gonna cast Prestidigitation and put a red dot on it.
Okay, cast Prestidigitation. Alright, as you cast Prestidigitation, a yellow rune glows on your collar, and immediately you hear a very deafening boom in your ears as you take 1 point of thunder damage. As you do that, one of the dwarves nearby laughs at you. She's like, go ahead, try it again. Maybe it'll work this time.
Layla, the collars are trapped.
Yeah?
No spells.
Yeah, I'll learn from your mistake.
Someone in chat said, I think, as they were beating you, Agamemnon, I think this is when he said it, but he said, my ankles!
My legs!
As if they were hurting your ankles, because they're short.
Oh, right. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, my shins!
My shins! Alright. You are led down into the mines. Agamemnon, Oriel, and Jericho. And you're taken to this area of the mine. And you can see kind of down the way there's Sivar and Layla. And although you also learn the lesson to not, look away from your work, you guys do make eye contact with each other. You don't say anything right away, and you can attempt to if you wish. But you do notice that you're both there. And you each kind of have this grim look on your face.
Give a short wave. A smile.
A slight nod.
Back to work! Is it raining outside? Why's the dog barking at me?
They'll have to sleep sometime.
Apparently there's a solar eclipse happening soon, and it's going to be a big one.
You know what would be great? The solar eclipse turn out the power, and then I take the Ouija board over to the graveyard, and the ghosts come out and say, hey.
And they just say, hey. Once a millennia lifetime opportunity, and they're just like, hey dude, what's up?
They're just really chill, from the 1800s.
A lot of time to reflect.
Looks like it's like a 6,000 mile path, but only parts of Chile and Argentina will see. Interesting. Looks like it might pass right over Buenos Aires. Yeah, close. Sorry, used to live in Argentina. Got a little excited. So eventually, you hear this whistle, and it just sort of echoes throughout the mines. And as you look around, all of the other slaves just kind of drop their picks and start walking towards, where you came from, essentially. They're all very defeated, kind of worn. If you were to kind of lag behind, some of the guards will kind of kick you. It's like, all right, get going. Go on, shifts up.
drop my pick and follow.
They're all just kind of nudging you in the legs. Like, go on! Get going!
Oriel shambles as fast as she wants. Not too slow, but not too fast.
Well, the slaves themselves aren't going too fast. It's just kind of like a plodding along. You notice that they basically dropped all their picks where they were. And, you kind of follow them, and they're heading towards this very long line, kind of this long bridge that you came in on. And these guards are basically shackling everyone back together. And as they're doing this, you can hear this you can see this very clearly, this guy in charge. It's like, right, well, you lot are a bit lucky, as it seems we've got 5 new recruits for the mines. And you can hear this very just, yay, almost as if they're expected to kind of cheer for it. It's like, so no one will be going in the box today. However, tomorrow I expect all of you to be up to the highest standards as per usual. Let us remember what happens inside the box. And you can see, like, kind of some of the slaves are, like, looking away, almost as if they've been inside this box. The unspeakable horrors within are too great to share. Sivart's kind of like trying to peek up around, and he can see, like, his dad is, like, 10th in line, and you guys are, like, at the very back because it took you a while to get there.
Is anyone near me?
You guys are, like, all in the back, all 5 of you.
Alright, I want to prod them and poke at my dad, point at my dad.
As you're doing that, one of the doors just kind of, like, shoves you back in the line. It's like, quit lollygagging.
But we will know who his dad is.
It's very clear because there's only one gold dragonborn in line. You have to, like, kind of poke your head out of line for a moment to take a look. Maybe you, like, disguise it as, like, shifting your legs, or you're doing it while they're hooking you up. But you can see this gold dragonborn he's pointing to. That's near the start of the line. There's probably about 50 of you in this line. As you look around, you can see other lines on other bridges. There's probably a good 150, 200 other people. But these lines, like these bridges are going in all directions. Clearly this blacksmith district is not the only entrance. It is just sort of the entrance you guys came through. This overseer again says, "Alright, count 'em off!" And like the guards like going down the line, they're like muttering under the breath. They're like 52! 52! Right, that's everyone accounted for then, plus the extras. I do love extra working force. We may yet be done with this mine by the year's end. Alright, march! And you start marching towards that gate again. And as you're marching, you can see another line of slaves coming back through, also chained up. And, guards are posted, they're watching you. And you're being led outside the gate, past the blacksmith quarter again, through these blacksmith quarter gates. And no one's really paying you much mind. They're not really looking at you, because this is a daily occurrence to them. Instead of going right and up towards these taverns, you take a left down the side street that just goes down and down and down, till eventually you're basically led to a hole in the wall, to a cave. And these guards just start unhooking your chains. They say, "Alright, get some rest. Get ready for the next shift." And like everyone just kind of like slowly and lazily kind of just finds a corner to flop down in and start taking a break. Almost immediately, as Sivart is released, I'm going to assume, I'm not going to make you do this, you hurriedly tried to find your father.
Sivart's not. He's not going to rush over there immediately.
Alright, that's fine. I understand why you wouldn't. That's actually a good idea. So you guys are released, as it were. And the guard just kind of shoves Jericho, being the last in line. Says, alright, get a rest. Get ready to work again. They make their way. Oh, excuse me. They make their way back up this hallway you've come down. That's just mostly just a rock tunnel. And you hear this giant scraping noise as this giant metal door, which you didn't see at first, about 20 feet up this hallway, just kind of shuts behind you. It slides into place and just hears loud ka-chunk. As a note, there are no guards inside this facility, but you can assume that there are some outside of this door. Every single slave that you see has the same adornments, the same chains, and this same black necklace.
They're using us to get to the elves.
No, they just took your crap.
No, they're using us to mine under the force field. The barrier.
Oh. It's actually a good idea. I wish I thought of it.
I mean, they're doing something else.
It appears that the dwarves' xenophobia and elitism went further than even I thought.
Silver is AFK for a moment, so we shall talk amongst ourselves until he returns.
So, Layla, you guys got caught.
Yeah, on the way out we did. We made it to the first first gate. And we were doing okay, but they didn't fall for my illusion.
Also, as a DM note, sleep only lasts for 1 minute. So the guards woke up and then knew something was wrong.
Darn.
That's why they were waiting to ambush you.
Our blacksmith's friend sold us down the river.
It's okay, Oriole. We can make our way out of this. We're much stronger than the dwarves.
Oriole,
if
it
I
was
under-
actually Drusty. It wasn't his apprentice.
So if I understand right, although you guys got captured, we didn't get arrested just because you got captured. We would have gotten arrested no matter what, right?
As far as I'm aware, they didn't say anything to us about you guys.
From what I heard, it sounded like they were always intending to sell us out.
I will give you that. That is a correct assumption, because they were planning for 5 more in the lineup.
Yeah. So basically, no matter what we did here, it didn't matter. We were always doomed to be captured.
Do you mean they set this up as a trap?
Well, to be fair, you guys did waltz right in.
Hey, I didn't waltz. I clunked. Alright?
Oh, but trust me, this arc is far from finished.
And they all died in the mines.
Everyone died in the mines at the end.
Any ideas?
Now that you're here, do you want to talk with your father?
In all honesty, I'm a bit embarrassed about that. I think I'll speak to him when we've decided on a way of escaping.
It's up to you.
Unfortunately, Savard, I don't know if there's a way very clear right now. We might have to wait for fate to present one to us.
I hate it when you tell me that, Jericho. Have you
Don't
tested
worry.
the collars yet?
I have a feeling that that's not a good idea.
Yes. It hurts whenever you try.
He's already found out. First-hand experience.
Did he, though?
Agamemnon would like to pray to his deity tonight and every night, and make sure his prayer is along the lines of, "Oh, please, save us. Present a way for us to help ourselves."
You are unsure if your prayer is heard so deep in the mines of Grimbold, but it does bring you a small comfort that at least the collars do not burn you when you pray.
Well, that's no good. That means there's no magic going on. Damn it.
Yeah, you need your prayer book for that. Because that's how paladins work, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I know, that's how clerics work. Or perhaps there's some other reason it's not burning. Well, I'll never tell. Unless you find the document. Unless you find the MacGuffin.
McGruffin.
Anyone want to do or try anything?
We're stuck in a slave camp, right?
You're essentially stuck in the slave quarters, yes.
I guess I'll investigate the slave quarters for anything.
Alright, it's not really hard to look around. Basically, there's a lot of people just kind of slumped over. Just sleeping. Again, a lot of these are just... Like, there's some elves. There's maybe a human. Maybe a dwarf or two. But it's mostly like dragonborn, tiefling. Maybe there's some tritons here and there. There's some elves. Some half-elves. Maybe a half-orc. It's mostly sort of these monstrous races. There's very few dwarves.
Is there any optics? What are the ways out of here?
This is kind of like a... It appears to be like some kind of ruined dwarven settlement. Almost as if you've been quarantined off to this place. There are several doorways, a bunch of stones on the ground. There's no bedrolls or anything. You're just kind of left to sleep on the ground. And it's actually rather warm. Probably because of your proximity to maybe some magma, or it could be just all your body heat is being stored in this big container. So it's not terribly cold, but it is not comfortable.
How many people are in here?
As of right now, probably about 50. It looks like it's pretty much just your group.
Any guards?
There are no guards. It's all just slaves.
What are the exits?
There is one exit that you came down, It's about 20 foot up this slope of this rock tunnel. There is an iron door.
Can I examine the door?
Yes, you may examine the door. It is made of, you assume, iron. It's very strong. If you were to tap against it, you would very faintly make out on the other side someone yelling in Dwarvish. Probably telling you to stop that.
Right.
Translator note, he was telling you to stop that.
Thank you, I got that.
All according to Keikaku.
Alright. I guess I'll go over to my father.
Alright, your father is kind of slumped up in a corner. Just kind of got his head on one side. And he's kind of drifting off. About to fall asleep.
I'll tap him on the shoulder a few times. Try and get his attention. Get him to look at me.
He says in Draconic, basically, "Go away, I'm trying to sleep."
I'll whisper back in Draconic, "You old man, you never gave me enough to do in the first place."
Like, come to torment me again, have you? My son is dead.
I'm far from dead, father.
I am not in the mood for games. And then he just like swings his fist and it connects to your face. It's a very light punch. But then he realizes that he connects with, flesh. And he's like, "Wait! You're real! Who are you?" And he grabs you by the sackcloth. "Who are you?"
Father, it's me.
"No, you're dead. They killed you. They told me
Father.
they killed you."
They only kidnapped me.
"They said you died at sea. The saber guys, what are they called? Help me out here, son."
I think they
Sapphire
were like,
sword.
there you go, it's something kind of
Sapphire swords,
gem.
yes,
The
that's right.
emerald sword.
Sapphire swords, probably. Let me just load up the Leowick map real quick. Give me the Sapphire swords, yes, you there, Tiefling in the corner, you were right. This is the Sapphire swords. They said they killed you for failure to pay.
I paid the bounty. And I even paid to have you released.
What? That's
Seems
impossible.
I was too trusting.
They said that I could never pay it off. They sold me to the dwarves to work in the mines, day in and day out. They told me you were dead.
I'll help him up and take him over to the group.
They showed me the wreckage. They showed me the wreckage, the ship manifest. They said you were dead.
There are many lies floating around, Father.
Oh, I know what's happened. I've died. We're in heaven now. The Outer Lands, or whatever we believe in.
Not yet. Everyone, I'd
that's
like
the
you to
only
meet my
solution.
father.
At least wouldn't let me die in this hellhole.
Who the heck are you people?
These?
We are Jimmy's boys.
There we go.
He kind of takes you aside and speaks in Draconic Silver. And Sivart is like, "You're really running with these losers?
Yes, and they're not losers, Dad.
Come on, Sivart, you can do much better than this."
We're a real mercenary group.
"Sure you are, son, sure you are." Kind of pats you on the head.
I did it. I made it, Father. I became a part of a mercenary group.
Sure. Whatever you have to tell yourself to sleep at night, boy. Right. He turns to everyone and says, "All right, well, I suppose you'll be good enough. You'll have to do." And then you can see he's kind of fiddling with his mouth. It says,
Sivart's like making mocking noises behind him, but I can't see. He's like,
he's coughing up. He's like, it just coughs. And you hear this very distinct sound of metal on stone. And you look down, you see a small piece of thin metal lying on the ground. And he says,
pick it
"All
up."
right, how are we getting out of here?"
What's the small piece of metal?
Well, if you roll an intelligence check, I'll probably tell you.
Doing it.
You know what, Jericho? You roll one too.
You said unskilled int.
Yes. Is to recall information. Jericho, you think you've seen something like this before, but you can't recall where? Sivart, you've kind of seen things like this, tools like this. And as you're looking down at it, you realize that this is, in fact, something that can be used to pick a lock within the right hands. It is very crude. It is very crude.
Did you eat a lockpick?
He's like, "Had to smuggle one in, just in case." And he kind of gives you a wink. And that's when he says, "All right, how are we getting out of here?" "How will our party make it out of the mines of Grimbold? Why did they decide to just walk in? Is Sivart's father hiding more? Is there more to Sivart's father than the party knows? Will there be a guest? Will there be a guest player on the next episode? Find out next time on Dungeons and Dragons."